오, 톡톡님 저 방금 재밌는 걸 발견했어요.
What is it?
톡톡님 그리스 하면 뭐가 생각나요?
Santorini and that drink. You know what I'm talking about, right?
아, 그거. 그거 어떻게 알아요? 진짜 톡톡님 도대체 몇 살이에요?
Don't ask my age.
아, 알겠어요. 나이는 안 물어볼게요. 아니, 근데 그리스 대사관에서 재밌는 행사를 해서요.
What is it?
2월 9일이 세계 그리스어의 날이래요.
Oh, really?
그래서 호메로스의 오디세이아에 대한 강연을 하나 봐요.
I see.
이거 재밌을 것 같은데 이거 관련해서 대사님 인터뷰가 가능할까요?
Let me find out.
And we received a response from the embassy a few days later. 강의를 들으려면 책을 읽어봐야 되지 않겠습니까? 그래서 책을 가지고 왔어요. 지금부터 읽으려고요. 여러분 안녕하세요. 저는 지금 서울의 한 서점에 와 있는데요. 그때 톡톡님이랑 얘기했던 행사에 참여하기 위해 오늘 여기에 왔습니다. 그리스어의 날 행사. 오, 찾았어요. There are a lot of people interested in the Odyssey. And this is the person who will be giving the lecture. Oh, the ambassador's here. And the lecture began.
작년에 호메로스 오디세이아를 그리스 원전에서 우리말로 번역을 했습니다. 한 사람이 된다라고 하는 것이 어떤 의미가 있는 것인가? 그것에 대한 질문을 끊임없이 던지고 있고 자기 정체성이 상실된 사람이 어떻게 자기 정체성을 회복해 가는가 하는 과정을 보여주고 있고 그러면서 새로운 자기 정체성을 확립하고 있다. 이렇게 볼 수가 있습니다.
The Odyssey deals with the 10-year journey home and the trials and tribulations at sea of Trojan war hero Odysseus. Odysseus, king of Ithaca, was an excellent tactician who created the Trojan horse. However, he could not return home for 10 years after the war as punishment for blinding Polyphemus, son of Poseidon. The Odyssey deals with the perils Odysseus faced while at sea for 40 days and his journey home. The story ends with his return to Ithaca, where he kills the suitors asking for his wife's hand in marriage.
자, 오디세이아의 서시를 읽어보면 이 그 서사시가 어떤 서사시인가를 우리가 알 수가 있는데 한 산에 대해 나에게 노래하소서 무사 여시며 응변에 능한 자로 그는 많이도 떠돌았구나. 트로야의 신성한 도시를 정복하고 나서 제가 이 첫 행을 한번 히라버를 한번 읽어보도록 하겠습니다. 안드라 모이 엔네페 무사폴 리트로폰 호스 말라 볼라 이렇게 됩니다.
From the analysis of the Odyssey to listening to it in Greek, it was a fun lecture. After the lecture, the Q&A session began.
한국어하고 영어의 그리스어하고 차이점 그런 것들이 좀 궁금해요.
철학이 탄생한 문명이잖아요. 그래서 정말 그 여러 가지 우리 인간의 어떤 정신적인 기능이나 사고 능력을 표현하는 엄청나게 많은 그런 어휘들이 있거든요. 그런 풍부한 어휘들을 보면 너무나 놀라요.
원래 호메로스의 그 원문의 분위기는 어떠한 것?
사실 그리스 문명의 중요한 정신이 또 이게 명랑성이에요. 명랑한 거. 저는 전체적으로 좀 경쾌하고 조금 빠른 템포를 선택을 했다는 겁니다. 아이디어라고.
It was a lecture that gave me the opportunity to think about a lot of things. The ambassador's greeting followed.
And I would like to thank you very much that this day that we are celebrating the Greek language, you find Homero's as a common point that you could present to your audience. These nice translations.
After the event, I said hello to the Greek ambassador. Happy Greek Language Day. Today
Thank
is
you very
Greek
much.
Language Day.
Thank you, because for us it's important to find ways how to communicate.
We made plans to meet again for the interview and said goodbyes.
I will be very happy.
I look forward to it.
Okay.
I wondered what other Koreans at the lecture thought of it. 그리스 문학의 매력이 뭐라고 생각하시나요?
그리스 문학이요? 일단 그 역사가 좀 깊으니까 약간 그리스 문학을 통해서 몇천 년 전에 그런 모습을 볼 수 있는 것도 되게 매력적이라고 생각하고
그 오디세이아는 읽어보셨나요?
네,
어떤 부분이 가장 흥미로워하시나요?
그 트로이아의 여인들이라는 작품, 비극 작품이 있거든요. 그래서 그 작품이랑 비교했을 때 트로이아 여인들에서는 오디세우스가 어떤 부분에서 나쁜 악당으로 표현이 되거든요. 그래서 왜 트로이아 여인들과 오디세이아는 이런 부분에서 차이가 있을까? 좀 그런 비교하면서 그런 부분이 좀 대조하는 게 재미있었던 것 같아요.
I had a lot of questions for Dr. Kim, who translated the Odyssey. 한국어로 번역을 하시면서 어떤 점에 좀 초점을 맞춰서 번역을 하려고 하셨는지.
일단 무엇보다 중요한 거는 가독성인 것 같습니다. 가독성. 히라거나 이런 그리스 고전에서의 여러 그 개념들이나 들을 우리말로 도대체 어떻게 적합하게 옮길 수 있는가 하는 문제. 특히 이제 하나 예를 들자면은 아테네 여신과 아버지 제우스가 대화를 나누는 부분이 있는데 거기서 이제 제우스가 그런 말을 하거든요. 어찌 그런 말이 이빨의 담장을 넘어왔느냐 이 표현이 있어요.
저 그 부분 밑줄 쳐놨어요.
네.
여기 너무
그게
웃겨가지고.
그대로 구체적으로 번역을 한
진짜요?
거예요. 그러니까 너 왜 그따위 말을 해? 이런 말이에요. 근데 호메로스는 그렇게 표현하는 것이 아니라 이빨을 담장으로 묘사를 했고
네.
원전에 충실하면서도 우리말로 잘 읽히는 그런 가독성이 있는 그런 중개자, 전달자로서의 그런 학자들의 역할이 너무나 중요하고.
그 제가 이거 읽으면서 가장 그 인상 깊었던 구절 중에 하나가 얼마나 인간들이 신들을 탓하고 있는가, 우리에게서 재앙이 비롯된다고 말하다니 하나 인간들 스스로 무모한 짓으로 정해진 목 이상의 고통을 당하고 있지, 요거였는데
예.
이게 또 딱 여기 그 뒷부분에 하이라이트가
예,
돼서 있더라고요.
음.
그래서 혹시 이거가 뭔가 가장 중요한 부분이라고 생각하셨는지, 오디세이아에서, 아니면 뭔가
예, 맞습니다.
한국인
그거는
네.
일단 일리아스하고 좀 비교를 해야 되는데요. 일리아스 읽어보시면 아시겠지만 인간이 어떤 재앙을 당하게 되는 경우가 모호해요. 근데 오디세이아라고 하는 서사시는 좀 분위기가 다르다는 거예요. 신들도 뭔가 인간 사회의 정의에 대한 관심을 갖고 있고, 그리고 인간에게는 어차피 고통이라고 하는 거는 다 존재하지만 지금 여기 지금 강조하고 있는 것처럼 인간이 무도한 짓을 한다는 거죠. 무도한 짓을 해서 결국은 재앙을 맞이하게 됩니다. 이런 뭔가 좀 더 일리아스의 세계하고는 다른 어떤 인간 행위에 대한 책임에 대한 문제를 지금 좀 설득력 있게 제시를 하고 있기 때문에 그런 거죠. 그래서 이 부분을 조금 강조를 한 겁니다.
감사합니다. I wanted to find out more about the Greek language and Greek literature through the lecture. So I visited the embassy to meet the ambassador. 대사님?
Welcome.
Hello, ambassador.
I'm very glad to see you again after a long time. It was in the bookstore
Yes.
that we had the presentation
Yes.
for Odyssey.
I prepared some Greek yasas.
Γεια σου.
Yas,
Γεια σου.
Ναι.
Καλώς ήρθατε.
Merene, Duri.
Εγώ χαίρομαι πάρα πολύ for your beautiful Greek. So, welcome to the Greek embassy.
Thank you
please.
for inviting us. Wow, it's blue
You can-
and
yes.
white.
Blue and white are the colors of Greece. So, please.
Oh, wow. Wow, the view is amazing. Wow.
The view is amazing because Seoul is beautiful. So you will have to see that we are part of Seoul and Korea, although the premises are the Greek soil.
Oh, but we are now in Greece.
Yes,
right?
you are in Greece, and you will have the hospitality of the Greek mentality.
Then, shall we now begin the interview with the Greek ambassador? So, you invited us to an event that celebrates the International Greek Language Day. So, how was it designated?
We have our national anthem, and the poet of the national anthem was Dionysios Solomos, a Greek born in Zakynthos. Zakynthos and the Ionian Islands have been not under the Ottoman Empire, but have been occupied from several other countries. Italy, a little bit of France, and for some years after the Napoleonic War, and UK. And then they became part of Greece again. That means Dionysios Solomos, who was speaking Italian, French, and English, was a Greek, and he started to write poems in Italian language. So Solomos started his, let's say, career as a poet writing in Italian language, and then he was studying Greek, and he found out that it is a very, very rich country. We are explaining everything in a wonderful way.
The oldest language in Europe. Shall we find out more about Greek? The Greek alphabet is known to be the first phonetic alphabet that has consonants and vowels which transcribe sounds of speech. The Greek sentence, like English, is composed of the subject, verb, and object. However, the word order is not as strict. Also, if you look at the verb, you can tell if the subject is I, he, or she, or they. The nouns are gendered, and they change according to number and status. If you look at Greek words, there are honorifics that are used in formal settings. Also, concepts that cannot be expressed in one word in other languages can be expressed in one word in Greek.
So Solomos, inspired from the revolution, the Greek Revolution of 1821, just to tell you that this revolution was against the rule of Turkey, the Ottoman Empire, after 400 years. So the revolution started on the 25th of March on 1821. Inspired from the revolution, I wrote a poem. This poem, the beginning of the poem, is our national anthem. And we established this language day because of Solomos, and is the 9th of February is the day that he passed away. So we are commemorating our national poet who put the root of the modern Greek literature.
I think like almost everyone in the world knows some Greek words like alpha, beta. So I think Greeks must have a lot of pride about their language.
That's true, but everybody has this pride. I'm sure that Koreans also, they are very proud for their language. For us, it's quite important to know that it's not just the language, but our civilization. That is the root of many other civilizations in Europe and not only.
Greece, the birthplace of Western civilization, is known also as the birthplace of ancient philosophy, the thoughts of philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Philosophy was born in Ionia, a region of ancient Greece located on the western shores of what is today Turkey. Trade was active in the region, and the Greeks were able to expand their spiritual horizons through exchanges with other cultures, allowing them to escape from the mythical worldview that dominated them. In addition, material abundance gave them the leisure to contemplate things. Greece's free political system of the city-state and its culture of open debate also became nourishment for the birth of philosophy. Ancient Greek scholars criticized each other's claims and tried to make better arguments, elevating the level of philosophy as a study.
During the classic times, a lot of philosophers, a lot of poets, a lot of people was trying to express themselves in Greek language. So the roots of the science and of philosophy are on the Greek language. It's normal to reproduce, even nowadays, some letters, using them as symbols, but also the words. And we know that we have a very, very long history and prehistory. But talking about history, Greece is the place where a new culture, more human, has been developed. That's the importance of our civilization. Everything is around the human being. Even the gods of Olympus, they had all, figures like normal persons, having all the characteristics, good and bad, of a human being.
Let's go back to the event that was held in February. So the lecture was about the Odyssey, and I was wondering how important Homer is in Greek society.
Very important. It's the first time that a poem has been in a written form on the 8th century before Jesus Christ. And these poems are not metaphysical. They are very human. They are talking about values. How important is the country? How important is the nation? How important are the basic values?
Homer, an ancient Greek writer who was active around the 8th century BC, is a legendary poet. There is so little known about him that some people theorize he never existed, or that he is not one person but several people. Either way, there is value in Homer's great achievements in the history of mankind. Homer's Iliad and Odyssey are known as the first and among the greatest epic poems in European literature. The Iliad is a heroic epic dealing with the events taking place during the last 51 days of the famous Trojan War, which lasted 10 years. And the Odyssey deals with the journey back home of Trojan War hero Odysseus. These two works are regarded as the first written literary works of the West, the archetype of Greek culture and the starting point of the Western spirit.
So Homer is giving, with his poem, the real life. He's describing how important are the values, how important is to feel these feelings that are belonging to a human being who has ideals. And his expression is, the one that people could understand and could feeling at the same place than the hero. So we are appreciating a lot and we are learning about Homer in the schools, of course, and not just in Greece, but in all European, at least, countries.
There are many classical Greek literature translated into Korean, but can you recommend like one modern Greek literature that translated in Korean?
Yes, I think that you have to start with Kazantzakis because a lot of his work has been translated. Is the most, I think, Kazantzakis has been translated and a lot of his work is translated to Korean language. And if somebody has to start, it's better to start from there. He will learn a lot about the life in Greece. His natal island is Crete, a big Greek island, much bigger than Santorini that everybody knows. It's a very strong way to describe the feelings, and everybody can understand what Greek mentality is if he's reading the Kazantzakis book. So I'm recommending that.
Are there any Korean literature translated into Greek language?
There are many, but I think that they are translated from English versions, from English translations. You can find them in the bookstores, but the translation is via a third language. So I'm not so sure that is the right way to approach the language. Because the beauty of the language is to find somebody who is understanding exactly the meaning and he can give that meaning in another language. If you are passing through another third language, international language, never mind how good is the translator, maybe something is missing there, I think.
So besides the literature, are there any other cultural aspects that you'd like to promote to Korean audiences?
The most important is that on this occasion, because you are celebrating the 70 years from the armistice of the Korean War, to which Greece also participated, we are planning to have an exhibition in the War Memorial Museum. I'm planning to have an exhibition of an American photographer, very well known, Robert McCabe, who, as a young student of Princeton University, visited Greece during the years of the Korean War. So he depicted not just the landscape, but everyday's life at the moment that Greek soldiers were leaving in order to come to Korea. So this exhibition will give the opportunity for Koreans to know, to learn a lot about our participation to the war and how looks a country today and how was looking on the 70s, on the 50s, sorry. Another thing that we will do organize because of our National Day is we co-sponsored the Marathon of Seoul.
Oh.
Yes, and it will be the first time that the athletes will be able to receive the original medals, the gold, the silver and the bronze. We received the data from the federation organizing the marathon, the Greek marathon, the classic Greek marathon. You know that marathon has been born also in Greece.
Yeah.
Philippides was running to give the good news from Marathon to Athens that the Persians have been defeated. And we are planning a lot of things in order to promote also tourism, because we would like to have a lot of Koreans learning about our civilization on the spot. We are doing promotion of the Greek wine also, of gastronomy, etc., etc. So a lot of events in order to attract the interest of Koreans to a country that is far away, but has so many similarities concerning the approach of the values. For us, family is very, very important. The respect that you are paying to the elderly people, it's important. And our society is different than your society, and the structures could be different. But we have so many things in common, and we have to build on them. We have a long history, and I would like to share our history, our civilization, and our culture with Koreans. So I would like to invite every Korean to visit Greece, to be educated about our history, because it's the base of the European, at least, history.
I promise to visit Greece.
I will be very glad to give you all.
Through the interview with the ambassador, I learned a lot of new things about Greece. I also felt the scope of my mind expanded from Korea to Greece through Greek literature. 이거 행사 뭐 추첨해요? 네. 이거 드릴까요? 추첨해서 뽑히면 상품을 주신다고 합니다.
10분?